Hello, guys. Because adaptation to the environment is of utmost importance, the psyche is constantly scanning the outside world and constructing a subjective perception, according to which it decides what goal to pursue. Often, the goal results in a pattern that the psyche embraced since childhood. This goal always opposes the feeling of personal inadequacy and is the compass for psychological development. For example, children who have had difficulties in locomotion strive for a model that surpasses their shortcoming, namely a dream to become racing drivers. For instance, children primarily use their sense organs to understand the world around them, with the eye playing a key role in creating a stable visual picture. However, some individuals may rely more on hearing, smell, taste, or motor activity to shape their perception. Each child's dominant sense or sensory group influences how they engage with their environment and impacts their development. To truly understand a person, it's essential to recognize which sense or senses guide their interactions with the world, as this shapes their reactions and relationships throughout life. The psyche perceives the world through numerous mechanisms. However, it is important to remember that the goal to which the psyche strives shapes to a great extent these mechanisms. The psyche registers only that which serves its goal. Therefore, we can only understand the behavior of a human being when we examine the goal of their psyche. Perception is founded on the stimuli that the brain receives from the outer world. We showcase that perception is founded on that basis, not reflected. As Adler puts it, one does not perceive everything that one sees. For instance, the psyche rearranges the stimuli collected from the outer world in a way that fits its original pattern determined by the goal it pursues. By this token, perception is not a physical phenomenon, but a psychological function. As we have seen in a previous video, the psyche derives its properties from the mobility of the human organism. On the other hand, mobility requires a certain kit of tools, and the psyche is obliged to develop those faculties that facilitate safe movement through the world. One essential faculty is memory. It is impossible to move through the world without precautions built on past experiences that allow us to avoid dangerous situations and seek conditions that favor the continuity of the organism. By this token, memory isn't random, but a mechanism of survival and adaptability. To that end, we may deduce that memory is selective. We only remember those events that serve the goal of the psyche. And I repeat, memory is not unbiased. Memory is selective. We only remember those events that serve the goal of the psyche, and we dismiss anything that pulls us away from the fulfillment of our psychological goal. Another important faculty of the psyche is imagination. According to Adler, imagination is the field where the uniqueness of the psyche is most vividly expressed. Imagination is very similar to perception. However, imagination is not built on a sensory input, but is entirely a separate construction of the creative power of the psyche. Furthermore, some fantasies go far beyond the normal imagination in their sharpness of focus and vividity to the point of influencing the behavior of the individual as though an objective stimulus. In that case, we are dealing with hallucinations. Adler goes on to claim that hallucinations are designed in order to fit the psychological goal of the psyche, which is a very bold claim. So when we talk about perception, memory, imagination, we are not talking about neutral things. They are all created for a reason. The psyche is reason. And if we want to understand someone, including ourselves, we must look for the goal behind everything we see and remember that's where the truth is hiding. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have a great day. Cheers.